Hi, y'all. I just thought I'd stop by to check on you and make sure y'all's behaving yourself. I'm not doing nothing, but I'm gonna make another crazy patch square, which I've been always starting with my 10 by 10s, just 10ish by 10ish. Sometimes they're a little bit more than that, but I want to do this time. I want to do it a little bit differently. I want you like I want to make something this time instead of just totally crazy patched. I think I want to do something a little bit different. I want to make like a scene of something, like a scene. So I'm gonna go like this way and make like this is gonna be the sky, okay? Sky. See, my 10 by 10s aren't exactly 10 by 10. This was a little bit more apparently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, this one's a little less. Okay, that's okay. That's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Or do I want to use this one like this? Maybe I want to use it like this way. Yeah, I think so. And then I want to have, then I'll find a green, a patch of mostly green here. And then I'm going to like make some hills of green, like hills. Boy, it's a nice day today. We got both of our doors open and the fresh air is just wafting through the house. It is so awesome. Okay, let's put this one, then this one's going to go right here. I probably almost need to iron that piece, don't I? Okay, it's going to be like this here. So now that looks like the sky and the grass. But then I have this here fabric that has got balloons on it. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, this one here is on the side. So I can take this one and put this like here, well, up here. It's a balloon floating in the sky. And then I can take, okay, so I want a whole balloon. So I guess I'll go after this one. I'll go after this one right here. I like using these scissors, these like bumpy scissors. What the heck do you call that thing? They're like they're bumpy. Okay, they're bumpy. They're not like zigzag scissors. They're not like, I can't think of that word either. Oh my word. I can't think of any words. I'm just gonna cut this out. They're humpy. They got the humpy dumped. Okay, so they're Humpty Dumpty scissors, whatever. Okay, now, and then if we have one over here, maybe this one wants to be a little bit lower. And then maybe, then I'll take, and I'll cut a piece of this like this. You don't know, never know what shapes clouds are going to be. They are whatever shape they want to be. And so we can put a cloud up in the sky here. Okay, there we go. And then I have frogs. I have these little frogs. Cute, 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 cute. So I just sort of cut them out. I'm not like really cutting them out. I'm just, if I wanted to, I could probably take my time and cut them real fancy-ish, sort of, you know. So then I'd have fancy frogs. I don't want fancy frogs. I just want regular old frogs. Now, what else do we have here? What else? Oh, maybe a truck. I know it's not Christmas, but you know what? When it's not Christmas, oh, you know what? I need to get my, where's my just straight scissors? Are they over here on the sewing machine? Oh, yeah, that's where they are. Maybe we could put a truck, cause my one's got a wagon there too. So, but see, in this time of the year is when Santa Claus has got to get all of his trucks and everything oiled and ready. You know, he can't just do it overnight, so he has to get these things ready. So anyhow, I'm gonna be a little bit more exact or something on this one and fussy cut it. Do you see these gloves, fingerless gloves I'm wearing? I have had problems with my thumbs. Okay, I'm not going to cut out that Christmas tree for a long time. That right here on my thumbs, holy smacks, they hurt sometimes like the dickens, and then they hurt constantly. But the hurt is only about, I would say, like a number two of a hurt. But then when I turn them just right or just wrong, then it'll go to a 10 hurt for like 2 or 3 seconds. Just one jab of ouch, almost makes me say words that are unladylike. And so these here gloves were only, I don't know, I think like $6 for two pair. Because I got that pair and then another pair that's just the tan color. So there's two pair. And I thought, well, that wasn't a lot of money, so I'm going to try them and see if they help. And so I got them yesterday, and so I put them doggone things on, and I I had some orders that I needed to fill for my 10 by 10 squares, my 10ish by 10ish squares. I should say 10ish by 10ish because that's more accurate. And so I got those orders filled, and by tearing, and I have to tear these fabric squares. I have to tear them, and usually I tear them. I don't cut them because I'm a little bit lazy. And usually when I do that, oh my gosh, it hurts. It hurts bad. And so, but since I have had these gloves on since yesterday, I have not had that pain. Not a one time did I have that pain. I decided now I'm going to cut this frog out a little bit more better. So, see, when I do any kind of crafting, I just take my time and do it as I go. Take my time and just plan as I go. I don't do much planning ahead of time. Like this time, I would say I sort of planned because I knew I wanted to make some kind of a scene. which, not like making a scene, to embarrass myself, but just a scene like a picture. So this frog is coming out nicely. Because if I leave all that pink on there, you could do that too, but you know what? I'll maybe leave that bottom pink on, because then it looks like he's sitting on like a pink lily pad. Is that not the cutest thing you ever saw in your entire lifetime? And so, boy, it would be cool if I had. Oh, what is this fabric here now? Oh, look at this one. Now, this one, look at this one. It's got a sunshine right there. It's got a sunshine on a cloudy day. Papa, you okay over there? Oh, sleeping. So I guess he's okay. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut this. And then these here pieces over here then make little smaller scraps. So I'm going to just cut that sunshine out. And put a sun up there in the sky. And it'll be gorgeously beautiful. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be making a video because I'm at a loss for words. A loss for words. So I don't want to be at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for keeping things in frame too. But we're getting it here. Okay, now I think I about. Oopsie daisies, that was not supposed to happen. Wasn't supposed to pull that thread. Fred. Okay. Well, that little sunshine was a little bit more tricky. Okay. There we go. Now he's a sunshine. Put him up there on that cloud. Put that up there on that cloud. Right there. Okay. That's what we'll do right there. Now, I wonder if any of these pieces. Oh, good grief. Look at this one. It's got little kitty cats in it. Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. Kitty cats. So I'm going to fetch me a couple of them kitty cats. And we will. Am I in frame again? Out of frame again? Am I pretty much out of frame? When I get right here, I'm out of frame. So let's just move this. Okay. And close enough. Let's put a kitty cat down here. A kitty cat and a frog. That's a big frog because he's bigger than the kitty cat. And so, let's see, what else do I have in here? And all these, that's more frogs. That's another frog. Another frog, another frog. Another frog, another frog, another frog. Let's see. Flowers. This is flowers. Let's see. Apples. Barbie. We don't want a Barbie. What about this piece? There's like oh, see? Now here is a young lady and she's petting her chickens. She's petting her chickens. Oh, I want to use my lumpy scissors. What? Okay. Scallop, scallop. That's the word I was looking for. These ones scallop cut. The other ones are pinking shears. Yeah, now I got the words. Sometimes it takes the words a minute to come to me. But you guys, when you get old too, you're gonna have the same problem. So I'm just giving you that information. So now here I have this little lady with her petting her chickens there. And let's see, did I see a bird flying in the air? I think that's a bird. It's a fancy bird. We're gonna cut that bird out too, sort of. Sort of cut the bird out. We're gonna sort of cut the bird out right here. And so that the sort of bird can, might not be a bird, but it is now. He's going to fly right there above that, in front of that balloon. Okay, put that kitty cat right there. Okay, somebody's making a big fat mess here. And let me see here. Oh my god, I got a bicycle. I got a bicycle. Well, I like this bicycle. Where will I put it? You don't know. Don't know. Don't know that answer. Let me see. How can I get a whole bicycle out of this? I need a bicycle, the whole bicycle. Oh, it's right there. Okay. So I want a whole bicycle with the basket of flowers. So everything isn't certainly not going to be to what do they call it when you get it everything exact to size? Well, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be all that stuff like exactly to size because the frog is almost as big as the bicycle. The frog is big enough to ride this bicycle. Maybe he wants to ride the bicycle. I don't know. Now, but bicycle. Okay, now throw this off here. Maybe this little kitty has to go down here with his mom. Then maybe this here bicycle can go right here. The bicycle is bigger than the truck. That's all right. It's okay with me. It's okay with this frog, this truck. Now, how's it looking so far, y'all guys? It is pretty doggone cool. So we got some flowers there. These flowers are kind of big, but there's some small ones in here too. So I'm gonna just get me just a few flowers. Just a little bouquet will do of these flowers. Just a little bouquet of flowers. And and throw that over there. Now, see, I got this little bouquet of flowers. Wonder where them flowers should be. They should be right here. Then this, no, that hides too many. Let them flowers grow way up there. Put that right there. Then the frog in here. No, get them flowers out of there. Here, bike, you go right here. Frog, get on a bike. And then let's put this here. Yes, like that. I gotta take this white edge off of this balloon because this balloon does not want that selvage edge on there. Okay. Okay, let's put that right here. Yeah, put this right here. Okay, now I'm gonna put them flowers, but maybe I want a little bit more of them flowers. Now that I think about it, a little bit, I might want to have just a few more. So I can take these flowers like this and let's go right here. Put them right here like this way. And then like this, and then put the truck here. Oh yeah, that's better. That's more better. Better. Now, I think that looks pretty good. Ouch. Oops. Now, look at this here. This says liberty and freedom. I always like words. See? And I didn't plan none of this ahead of time. I just whatever. Liberty and freedom. Put that there. I'm going to put this right up here. Liberty and freedom. This is going to be my patch. Cut that corner off of here. Then I have to, before I can stitch it. Now sometimes I would use a little glue stick and glue it a little bit. I'm not going to do that on here. I'm going to just give some pins here. And then I'm going to sew. It's sort of like, sort of like quilting it on, but it's not really quilting. Well, it's sort of quilting, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. But because I make things up as I go along. I do not plan or have the right words or anything, or I certainly don't do any kind of instructions or go by the rules. I don't go by the rules. No rules for this old woman. I mean, I have enough to think about without thinking about rules. Okay, now, so you see on these gloves, they got like a little round piece of, it's like a gel something. And that's right exactly where these things hurt. They ain't got no fingers on them. Okay, so now we're going to zoom you over here. Right there, there's sewing machine. That's the sewing machine right there. Don't look at the stuff around it because the stuff around it is just junk. I can just roll this sewing machine right up. And so then I just start sewing, so. That's what I do. I start sewing. So I'm going to just start right here. What stitch do I have that on there? Let's put it on stitch number 25. 25. So that makes that little, I call it a serpentine. I don't know what it is, but I think that is what it is. Now, and then, oh wait a minute, I need to get it a little bigger than that. And then I just start sort of like your quilting. You can go in any direction that you want, or you could, if you're one that uses the quilting foot, that free floating quilting foot. Well, this almost kind of works the same way, except it doesn't. You just have a little bit more control over it. I have to practice on that quilting foot more because I'm right now I feel like I'm gonna pull it too fast or something. Whoopsie daisies, my little truck. Fix my truck. Because I feel like I'm gonna pull it too tight and break the needle or something. So I have to do some practicing with that because then you don't have the feed dogs feeding the fabric through. So you got to be your own feed dogs. And so I have to practice that some. I will though. It'll work out. And so I might practice that some today. On one of the videos I was watching, it said to just go ahead and practice on a pot holder. Don't make a whole quilt. Make a pot holder. And then use that as just a little piece to practice making your quilt, doing the quilting. And so that might be what I'll do. But this sort of works the same way as you just, it just kind of quilts everything together. But since I do things this way right here, it kind of fringes everything. Everything gets fringed. Everything gets oh, what do you call it? It gets chenille. And it will once it's washed. Once this is put together and washed, then the raw edges kind of just chenille themselves. They kind of just, oops, I already went right there, so I got to turn. And they get kind of like little ruffy, like a little shabby, like a little bit frayed. That's it, frayed. And it makes it look very rustic. I love that rustic look. I love the shabby look. I just love it. I just don't know why I do. And I love everything perfect too, but if I'm going to make it, there can be no perfect to it. But, because I make things just different. I'm just different. I am a different kind of a person. But you don't have to do anything perfect. If you are trying to do everything perfect, all your sewing, all your crafting, and everything perfect, and do it all right, well, then you're going to have mistakes. And when you have mistakes, then that can just lead you to want to throw it out the window or something. Well, then all you have accomplished there is to have a broken window. So you don't want no broken windows. So now as I'm sewing this, I mean, you can just keep going in different directions if you want to, or I could just sew around each piece if I wanted to. But I am kind of going in a spiral. Well, a square spiral is what I'm doing here. And sometimes I do just go around each piece and sew it on, but and it's sort of like appliquing it on, but it's not appliquing it on either, because if you're going to applique, you're going to sew it on very real appliquing is sewing it on very tenderly. So you got the and there is a thing called raw edge applique. I looked it up and it's there. It is there on the videos, raw edge applique. But the videos I watched are still kind of like have those like rules and how to do it things exactly right. Well, because I can do something but not exactly right. It's exactly right in my rule book though. My rule book. So my rule book is different than most people's rule book. So My real book's got all wrinkled pages. So anyway, yeah, that's how that goes. So this here, I'm just kind of stitching around. Okay, now I gotta take my pin out of Mr. Sunshine. Take my pin out of Mr. Sunshine. And get that stitching around there. I am loving my sewing machine. I think I could have made my other sewing machine last a little bit longer if I would have been more thoughtful of taking care of it. But like, you have to get in there and get all the lint out of the bobbin area. It'll fill up with lint. And I did that, but not all that often, you know. And so I think I could have made it last longer than it did if I would have been more caring of the thing. I mean, I cared about it. I loved it dearly. But I didn't. Well, yeah. It's like putting your kids to bed without a bath, I guess. So, but then when I called the guy that fixes machines, and he was telling me about that type of machine. I mean, every brand of machine has a high end and a low end. And so the lower end machines aren't kind of made as sturdy. And a lot of times he said when they do quit up like that, they just seize up like that, then it because of the price, it's probably cheaper just to go buy a new one than have the one that you wrecked fixed. So, but I'm taking my old one apart, which is not even that old. It's only a couple years old. I'm taking it apart and I'm looking at things. One thing, all the old sewing machines I've had, I've been through a lot of sewing machines. This front piece opens like this. This one it doesn't. But I found I can take it off, but I gotta take out a screw back here that holds it because the thread will wrap around the like if your thread breaks while you're sewing, sometimes the thread will get in there and wrap around that take up lever there, and which I got a piece of thread on there right now, and you have to be able to get that off. On the older machines that I used to have, you could open this thing up and then you could clean all that out of there and not a problem. But nowadays they make them. I don't know why they do that, but they make them to where you can't open that front. But now that I'm discovering by taking my broken one apart that I can actually take this off of here. So if I have that same problem again, because there ain't no way you can get in there and get that little piece of string off of there, a little piece of thread that wants to just wrap around. And then there's a tension spring down under here too. And that tension spring, because when you first take your thread down here and go up, it goes in here in the tension spring, goes up there and gets in that take up lever. And if your thread breaks for some reason, sometimes you just don't have the best thread in the world and it'll break. And then it'll just wrap around that piece there. And then I have to use like a pair of tweezers to get in there and get that little piece of thread off that's wrapped around either that spring or the take-up lever. But now that I know I can take this off if I need to, it'll be much better. So, Don't I sound like I just know everything? I do know everything. I know everything I needed to know to get to age 73. Mile marker 73, level 73, whatever it is, it's 73. Whatever it is, I've ate 73 birthday cakes, all my own. Mhm. So, I love me sewing machines, so I just love me some sewing machines. I hear some of these ladies that have sewing channels, and they talk about all their sewing machines. I got this one over here, and this one over here, and this one over here. And I think, what are you doing with all them sewing machines? You only need one sewing machine. Oh, I have more than one because I got my old Singer. That's my backup. I'm loving my old Singer, that crank machine. That's a beautiful machine. Little house on. It probably lived in a log cabin one time. It probably did live in a log cabin and sewed all them little girls their little dresses and their little bonnets. What, Papa? Oh, heck yeah, buddy. It's old. It's old as Methuselah. I think I woke up my hubster. Yeah, it's old. I like old stuff, but I don't have. I used to have more antiques, but now I just have my one sewing machine is antique, and I got an antique ironing board. I love my antique ironing board. Oh yeah, the antique husband. Yeah, I got him. I got ownership of my antique husband. Yes, I do. And so I guess I have a few antique things. I've got a few things that I've had since, like I have a jewelry box that I had since I was 16. So would that make it antique? Probably. Now, see what I think I want to do right now is I think I went all the way around, but now I want to just I want to go around this here cloud. Just give it a little bit of extra around the cloud. See, next, if once you're sewing slow enough, you can just turn it enough, close enough, close enough. Okay, so look at that. I just made a seam, and once this is washed, once I wash this thing, wash it. Once I wash it in a washing machine, there. Now, see, so then you see all that stitching on the back. I think that looks cool, cool, cool. Okay. Oh, get my foot from wrapped around this. There we go. Now, there I are, Kansas City store. That's me right there. But look at my patch. See, it's got the sun in the sky, the clouds in the sky, a balloon, and then the frog is up there on the bicycle. The bicycle is carrying flowers. And then see the lady down there at the bottom, her kitty cat's right next to her, and she's petting her rooster. And then you can see then there's the little pickup truck. And that is going to get sewed right onto my quilt. And I think I showed you, wait a minute, see what I got here. Oh, see, like this one here, I have 4 patches together. But these ones I didn't do any seeds on them or anything. I just um, put the 4 patches together. Once I get 16 patches together, then it's about a 40 by 40 lap quilt. But which I have one of these right here. I'm still waiting on my chenille ribbon. Hopefully it comes in the next couple of days. But see, now this one, if you can see, is 16 squares of those 10-inch squares. 10 by 10 squares. And I got them all stitched together.
40 by 40 inches.
Yep, that's what it is. And so, but see, a lot of these fabrics. Now, see what I did on the back? I showed you this before, but just in case you missed it. I repeat myself a lot because I'm old. But see how it's got the doilies on there? I got 5 doilies on the back of this. I love old doilies. But I don't want to cut them to pieces. Some people cut them to pieces. Cut them to pieces. Old vintage doilies, and they cut them to pieces, little pieces, and then they use the pieces, like they might take this blue one and cut just each individual pineapple off and put it on a different something. And well, like when I look at these doilies, cutting them apart to me is like cutting apart a Bible. Can't do it. Just can't do it. I want my doilies to be all in one piece. And a lot of these I think are vintage, but some of them are not. Some of them are not. If I was to crochet a doily today and maybe stick it in some tea and kind of dye it, I could probably call it vintage, and it would be the same thing as a vintage doily, but it wouldn't be vintage. But I put these doilies, and that one pretty, it's like an oval. Now this one, I don't think that one is vintage at all. I think this one is made commercially on them commercial machines. This one here is most likely a vintage doily. When I first started crocheting, this is the kind of stuff I learned to crochet. I couldn't crochet on yarn because I'll constantly split the yarn, so I couldn't do that. So I learned to make doilies. This one here is hand crocheted, done with a very small hook. And it might be vintage and it might not be. It's just I don't know. Some people can tell what is vintage and what is not. I don't know how they tell it, but this one here, it's hard to tell because people crochet today just like they did all them years ago, and they crochet today with the same crochet cotton as they did way back. And so they kind of look the same. Although this one, because it's got a few snags and come apart with age, this one could be vintage, an old vintage. And but there's really no way of telling. There's no way of telling. Probably if you were at a, probably if you went to a worm. Probably if you went to like a estate sale and everything in the estate sale was very old antique stuff, and you found some doilies, you'd probably know those ones are vintage because of where they came from. But just to look at one, it's hard to tell. It's well for me, it's impossible to tell. But some people that sell these kind of things, they know if it's vintage or not. But even a lot of the things that they sell vintage are like dresser scarves or table runners and that, and they've got embroidery on them. Now those are most likely vintage for the only reason, for the simple, isn't that beautiful? For the simple reason is people just don't do that anymore. People don't put table runners on their tables with the embroidery on them, and they put table runners, but they usually don't hand embroider themselves and put them on. And like a lot of times, back in the olden days, young girls would start their hope chest, and they would embroider pillowcases. They would embroider table run. I mean, they do crocheting, tablecloths, and doilies, and things, piano scarves, all that stuff. They would do that and get it ready because they were putting it in their hope chest. in hope to find a young gentleman. Like, see, I found me a young gentleman. You see him coming up behind me right there? He just smooched me on top of my head. Yep. He smooches me on top of my head about 100 times a day. You're going on a road run. Yeah. I love you, Papa. Okay. So anyhow, but if you're one that can look at a doily and tell if it's vintage, then you got some good eyeballs. And you're smart. You know more than I do. I guess if I looked up, how do you tell if a doily is vintage? Well then, yeah. When I finish this edge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch it. I'm going to hem it over just the tad bit here, like this. So it will be hemmed over that way. But then on this side, I'm going to have that piece of chenille, because you can buy a chenille ribbon. Excuse me. I just learned about that, buying chenille ribbon, and it's like a cotton fabric, but it's cut on the bias. And so because it's cut on the bias, then once it's washed, it's going to fray all that. It's just all going to fray. So that's what I'm going to do on this edge, because I got some pieces here, like right there. This piece is wider than this piece. So I'll fix that. But that's what I'm going to do on this. So I'm hoping, I know my bias, I mean my, what did you call that stuff? Oh, my chenille ribbon. It's already been mailed, because I bought it from a lady in Etsy. And I got the email saying it was mailed. See, like this doily? This is not vintage. This is made on a machine. Now, some people say there's no machines that can make doilies. Yes, there is. And, but this is sort of like when you buy a lace curtain. Like a lace curtain. See, this is really, really pretty. But this is just machine made. That one is. But it's beautiful. I don't like to cut them off either. I don't like to. There's a tag on this one. I didn't cut the tag off. It's underneath there somewhere. I guess I should have read the tag first. But I just love doing this. And so I love everybody's beautiful quilts too, but not saying that this is not beautiful. I just got all fuzzy. Oh no, I'm not fuzzy. So, but I just love those who make um just like patchwork quilts. Now, that's the only kind of quilts I ever made when I was younger. I made a lot of quilts, but they was all patchwork. So they was like 4x4 patches, and you just make 4x4 patches. You just sew a jillion of them together, and you have a quilt. And then you just put that on, and then I'd get an old blanket, and I'd put that on an old blanket, and then I'd put a sheet on the other side, an old sheet on the other side. And then the only way I would tack it. I didn't quilt it. I tacked it, and what I used was a needle and thread. A needle and yarn. I think I used yarn or embroidery flosser. Maybe I used, or maybe I used crochet cotton. I don't know. But then at every intersection, I would just make a stitch and then tie it. That's the kind of quilts I made. I didn't make. Now there's some. Oh my God, the quilts people make nowadays, and they have these machines that they got their quilt on there, and then they just quilt it with that machine. They can make the most beautiful, beautiful quilts out of that. But you know what quilts I find is to be beautiful? Those ones that are all every inch of it is hand stitched by little ladies in the church group. I say that because my grandmother did it that way. The ladies from the church, they would make their quilts, but then they'd get together, and there would be like 6 or 8 ladies that would sit around the quilting frame, and the quilting frame was actually large, and it and it was like on pulleys up to the ceiling, and so they'd let that thing down, and then they'd sit around with chairs around that whole quilt, and then the ladies would just quilt, just hand quilt while they talk. While they talk, probably talk bad about them other ladies that weren't quilting. I don't know what they were talking about. because he's talking in Finnish. I never did understand him because he was talking in Finnish, but because there's Finnish people in my family, and I'm half Finnish. Okay, well, actually, I've been on here 50 minutes. How come I don't know how to make a short video? I just don't know how. But that's what I made. That one square that's going to go into that's going to go into one of my little crazy patch quilts, and it's not the same as a crazy quilt. A crazy quilt has got rules and nice seams and stuff. This is just a crazy patch. No rules. None whatsoever. And every time you wash it, it's going to be prettier and prettier and prettier and prettier and until it gets prettiest. Now, I'm going. Somebody has made a big mess. Oh, it was me. I was just finding me something to read because I like to read these things, and usually the only time I read them is when I read them to you. But I'm going to pull one out of the middle. Just pull one out of the middle and see what it says. See what it be saying. See what it be saying to us. What our ancestors have to tell us. Just get this one right here. But where's my glasses? I just had them here. Now they're buried. Well, yes, they are. They're missing. I just had them. Good grief. Elizabeth Marie. Well, anyway, I don't need them. I can read, sort of, without them. I'm going to use this one for the bookmarker. Okay. Dearest, wonderful you. Intimacy. Ooh, started with the word intimacy. Whoops. Where's my glasses? Oh, here's my glasses. I found them. Here they are. Oh, they need to be cleaned off, but I can see through the mud. Intimacy is scary sometimes. It means you have to let someone else know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask you wear for others. No, it's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one that is totally you without artifice or walls. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you will know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to spirit and to us. There is amazing freedom that comes when you let go and just be yourself with another or a group. Release from the invisible bindings that keep you from intimacy is truly empowering, so we may support you wholeheartedly in this choice. You will know yourself better, and we hope learn to love yourself as much as we do. Life is about who we are with others. To share it, you will be so glad you did. Loving you so, so much. I don't know if you all watched the live stream with me and Ray, and my mouth just kind of whack, 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 yak, 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 yak. I just spilled my guts. After I turned that video off, I said, what did I just say? Because, like, I'm 73 years old, so I have got history. I got history. I have skeletons in my closet. And it just so much of it come pouring out. But this here card pretty much tells me that it was okay. It was okay that I did. There is an amazing freedom that comes when you let go and just be yourself with another or a group. These cards are amazing. These cards are amazing in this box. This is let me see, what is it called? Postcards from Spirit, a 52 card oracle deck. And it says, imagine traveling to a sacred place where you can receive communication from your loved ones who have passed on. your ancestors, your spirit guides, or even your guardian angels, what they knew, what you need. What if they knew what you need to know about every aspect of your life's journey? Now, some people might think it's a little bit cuckoo. It's not cuckoo to me. To me, this is my ancestors know me. In fact, some of them know me better than I know me. And so when I get a message from ancestors, oh, this lid has to go on this way, I take them to be serious. Serious. Okay, I that's it. Now I'm gonna let you all go now because I just didn't plan to keep you like all that time. Okay, love you guys so much. And I ask God to watch over you every step you take and every move you make. Keep you safe and keep you happy, healthy, and humble. And all the other good things. That's what I want for you. God wants for you. I love you. God loves you. And your ancestors love you. Everybody loves you. And you know who loves you the most? Yourself. Make sure you love yourself. And some people said, oh, I can't love myself. Yes, you can. Yes, you can love yourself. And it's very important for you to love yourself. Sometimes you find it hard to love yourself because you might think, okay, I'm 75 years old today, and but when I was 18, I did this one thing that I can't love myself. No, no, that's wrong, 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 wrong. So you love yourself today. You love yourself today. Doesn't matter what you did yesterday or what you're going to do tomorrow. Just be careful. Don't rob the bank tomorrow. Okay, I love you guys. And where's my mouse? Here's my mouse. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video. God bless and keep you. Now I gotta find my. Oh, why is my mouse mousing? Why isn't my mouse mousing? Oh, there it is. He's looking for the cheese. My mouse. Okay, love you guys.